Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining the Redington and Trend Micro session. We have Javid, our pre-sales consultant from Redington Value, who will be running throughout the session. We hope we will provide you all the information required, and you can go to the Q&A button on the right. At the end of the session, we will answer all your questions. Javid, over to you.
Good evening, guys. I'm Javed from Redington. Thanks for joining the session. In today's session, we are going to cover the endpoint solution in Trend Micro. We are going to cover one by one what are all the challenges are there with the endpoint market and how we are going to mitigate that using the Trend Micro suite, and what are all the different detection techniques which are available with the endpoint Trend Micro endpoint solution, and what are all the technologies are there, and how it is going to work. We'll cover one by one. So let's start with the Trend Micro portfolio first. uh, you are all know about the Trend Micro. It has a market presence over 30 years, and consistently we are the leader in Gartner Magic Quadrant and Forrester Wave report, and the NSS Lab also. We have best in terms of TCO as well as the breach detection system. We have effectiveness rate of around 99% with no false positives and everything. And this is the brief introduction about Trend Micro. I assume you guys already know about the Trend Micro very well. And let's start with the product offering in Trend Micro. So Trend Micro, these are all the three main pillars in Trend Micro: the user protection, the hybrid cloud security, and network defense. So user protection, under the user protection, we have the endpoint and email protection products. The endpoint, we are targeting both SMB as well as the enterprise. The SMB product for endpoint is called Worry Free, and the enterprise product is called Apex One. The Apex One is our latest endpoint security product. Earlier we used to call it as Office Scan. Now it is called as Apex One. The reason being we moved to Apex One is like the objective of that Apex One is to integrate all the features: the DLP, the application control, the vulnerability protection, IPS, and the anti-malware. Different techniques involved in the anti-malware and the encryption. So all these features will be integrated into one single lightweight agent, which is called Apex One. So this is the main objective for us to move to the latest endpoint security evaluation product, and Apex One. And these two products, the email security and the endpoint security, will come under the user protection. In yesterday's session, we already covered about the email protection offerings. We have 4 products in email, like 2 in the on-prem, the service integration with the Exchange server, and we have mail gateway solution also for on-prem, and in the cloud we have Caspi solution as well as the email gateway solution. So that 4 solution covered in the email security product. And with the endpoint security, we have Worry Free as well as the Apex One. So these are all the products coming under the user protection. And under hybrid cloud security, we have a specialized product which is called Deep Security. So Deep Security is our next generation security product. We don't have any competition in the market because we are holding more than 35% of market share according to IDC report. So Deep Security is very advanced, and it has all the features. Like you can go through the Gartner report for the cloud workload protection in 2020 and 2019. They have recommended 26 core controls available for the server protection. And if you go through all the features recommended by the Gartner, like the encryption, the compliance checking, the integrity monitoring, the firewall for the server, and the anti-malware signatureless and signature-based, and zero-day protection. So like this, all the controls will be integrated with the server security, with our Deep Security, whatever recommended by the Gartner. And in the report, the cloud workload protection report, Gartner themselves recommend the Trend Micro product. More it has more security controls, whatever recommended by the Gartner. And uh, and under the network defense, we have deep discovery family of products. So deep discovery means this is like a APT kind of solution which can be integrated to your core switch. And uh, 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 so core switch can see all the traffic, so it can inspect everything. It has integrated with the deep discovery. You have integrated sandboxing, and our sandboxing is very specialized because we are using the custom sandboxing, unlike the other vendors. So the benefit of using the custom sandboxing is we will inspect only the targeted threats to your enterprise users. For example, in the enterprise, in the customer network, let's say they are using three versions of operating system like Windows 7, Windows 10, or MacBook or something. So we will just take the copy of that image and put it inside our sandbox along with the installed applications and everything. So in this way, we will inspect only the targeted attacks which are coming to your enterprise. We won't take care of other vulnerabilities which are not present in your applications. We won't consider that. So in this way, we are reducing the processing time of the uh, signature and the threads and everything. So within 2 minutes, maximum 3 minutes, we can provide the signature for all the 0 day attacks. And it will be working with the connected thread defense. Means all the Trend Micro products will be connected to the sandboxing solution. And if even if any of your endpoint detected the thread, the it will share the thread details to the sandboxing solution. And sandboxing solution in turn share the signature to the Apex Central, which is our centralized management product for all the Trend Micro portfolio. So that Apex Central will share the signature to all the connected products. So this is how connected thread defense will work. We have that benefit also. And so these are all the three main pillars: the user protection, the hybrid cloud security, and network defense. You may have this query in mind, why we are calling it as hybrid cloud security. This is deep security only. The product name is called deep security, which will be applicable for both on-prem and the cloud environment. But we are calling it as a hybrid cloud security. The reason is uh, the license flexibility with the product. Either you have container, or you are going to support for the DevOps environment, like Kubernetes, container, serverless environment, and any other public cloud like AWS, Azure, Oracle, Google, or any other public cloud, or the VDI environment, or the desktop environment, or the server environment, which are outdated OS like Windows 2003, 2008. So you can have any products uh, with this platform. It will support everything. So and the license flexibility is there between the cloud and the on-prem. So that is why we are calling it as hybrid cloud security. And all these products will be integrated with the Trend Micro Cloud, and which is our source for the threat intelligence and everything. And it is getting the feed from millions of devices. As you know, we are present in the market for more than 30 years, so we are collecting the feed from millions of customers, and we are sharing the signatures, and we are applying the artificial intelligence, machine learning, everything into our threat intelligence. And if any incident happen, we have the capability to provide the signature within a second. Let's see one by one. There is too many threats or malware incidents happening with the current network. Either it will be signature based, signatureless, unknown threats, 0 day attacks. So lots of things are happening. So let's see how we are going to mitigate it. And few more challenges are we are increasing the attack surface now. So the lots of new applications are there, and cloud related applications are there like Evernote and Dropbox, Box, everything, and the Outlook application and PPT, the office related things. Lots of applications are there nowadays, and which are the shadow IT is also possible without the network administrator awareness or IT manager awareness. There, the users are using multiple applications. So this is one of the problem, and new devices are there, either corporate owned devices or BYOD devices. Lots of devices are there, new locations are there. We don't have any boundaries now. No VPN, no new threats, and no protections from on-premise defenses, because every users are roaming, and they are connected to the cloud applications, so there is no VPN usage also, and lots of challenges with the current world, and there is no boundaries in the current situation. There is nothing like perimeter firewall will protect you from the everything. So we are more than that, like we are accessing the cloud applications from our home, so which will create lots of threat vectors. Let's see how we are going to mitigate that. So Trend Micro uh, has a systematic way of protecting the threats. Unlike the so-called next generation vendors, they will apply the advanced techniques like machine learning and artificial intelligence on the entry stage itself. So when they are applying these advanced techniques on the entry stage, it will create CPU utilization also, and lots of false positive will also be possible. So, like Palo Alto traps are there, silence are there, and the CrowdStrike is there. They're applying the new things like the advanced things with the first layer only, the entry stage only. It will create the problem, and but we are not using using that approach. We are following the systematic way of protecting the threats. So first we are blocking the known threats using the signature based mechanism, like web reputation, URL reputation. For that we have the signature already. Even if we are not using the signature also, our smart scan will leverage the patterns which are available in the threat intelligence cloud. So you will get the action within the action and signatures, and verdict within just few seconds, and vulnerability protection also there, the IPS also there, and lots of products for uh, in the current world has currently lots of vendors offering the IPS with a separate agent, but we have all these techniques integrated into one single lightweight agent, and malware signatures are there, file reputation. So so these three techniques applied at the entry stage, and for the threads which are bypassing the first layer of detection mechanism, will go through the second layer of detection, which is called behavior analysis and exploit detection, pre-execution machine learning, runtime machine learning, application control, the sandbox analysis for zero-day protection. It will go through the second layer of detection techniques. So behavior analysis, what it will do. This is required for the ransomware protection, anti-ransomware protection. We have rollback feature also. For example, even if any attack or any IO file try to encrypt the files or folders inside the user laptop, we have the capability to restore the file even after the attack. So these kind behavior analysis, 99% it will prevent everything. The remaining 1% it has the capability of restore also. So our response life cycle also very strong with that approach, and exploit detection. So we can detect any exploits so that are coming through the network or coming through the web. So web related exploits will be very easily detected and stopped, and pre-execution and runtime machine learning. For example, think about the scripts which are coming without the signature. For example, the PowerShell script, JavaScript, VB script, which does not have any signatures. It cannot be blocked at the perimeter firewall, or it cannot be blocked anywhere. During the execution stage only we need to block, and it will show the malicious behavior during the execution stage only. So during that time we have a post execution machine learning. As soon as the the PowerShell script started injected into the PowerShell and started showing the malicious behavior, it will be stopped immediately. And we have behavior analysis model. It will also do the same thing. The newly encountered program and the any program which is trying to encrypt will stop it immediately. And we have application control also, strong application control, not like other vendors. We are supporting the granular usage of application. For example, we have hash value and CSS score for each and every applications available in the market now. So, for example, under the P2P, we have all the torrent and VPN related signature for different types of applications, and and browser related applications. We support all the browser, the Chrome, the Edge, the Internet Explorer, and Mozilla Firefox. Everything will be supported in browser-based applications. Like that, we have a category, and inside that, multiple applications are there. We have signature for each and every application, so it will be very easier to lock down the application with the user laptop. So in this way, if the application is getting locked, or you give only the specific control for some of the applications to the user, so in this way you can reduce the attack surface. So this is the application control is a critical thing to reduce the attack surface, which is available in the Trend Micro. And sandbox analysis. Sandbox analysis, as I discussed before, we have deep discovery sandbox, which can support all the languages, multiple languages, the customized sandbox, and customized sandbox images like specific to your enterprise requirement, with a pre-installed set of applications and everything. And we have our sandbox can be integrated with multiple vendors. For example, if customer bought this is used for the offline online protection only. If like for example, if the user is not connected to the endpoint server or to the internet, then the sandbox analysis cannot be done. Only the other detection techniques will work. If the user is connected online, the sandbox analysis will leverage all the zero-day patterns and everything. So we have sandbox analysis for the zero-day attacks, and we are providing it in two way. One is cloud-based sandbox, and another one is on-prem sandbox. On-prem sandbox, it will be usually required for the customer who has other portfolio apart from the Trend Micro endpoint. If they have Trend Micro Deep Security, Trend Micro Deep Discovery, if they have lots of Trend Micro portfolio, then it will be required for them to run the Deep Discovery box also. It will provide zero-day protection to all the connected products. If customer only has endpoint protection, they can even use the cloud-based sandboxing for the sandbox analysis, but it will work when they are connected online only. And by this way, we are protecting the customer using connected threat defense and everything. And the endpoint solution should have the strong response lifecycle. And we have for our investigation and response, we have a certain set of detection things like the outbreak prevention policy, which will be used to isolate the endpoints, infected endpoints. So this is also very strong. You can configure the certain threshold. For example, in 10 minutes, if the certain number of attacks happen in the endpoint, then it has to be prevented. It has to be isolated from the network. That kind of policy can be configured in outbreak prevention rule, and quarantine and isolation also can be done. It can be either through the policy or the certain set of detection techniques, the behavior analysis model, and the predictive machine learning runtime analysis model. What it will do, it will just terminate all your newly encountered suspicious programs, and it will protect you from that way. And for investigation and root cause analysis, we have strong EDR solution. Our EDR also, you don't need to add extra agent to the endpoint. The same agent, same Trend Micro endpoint security agent has EDR facility also. So this is very effective, because in case your endpoint detection, whatever the detection technique we explained earlier, if the threats are detected using that technique, it will share the hash value and threat details and indicator of compromise to our EDR solution, and you can clean up the such files if it is residing on any other systems with that same pattern. So it can be done easily with the combination of endpoint and EDR with the same solution. And as you know already, we come up with the XDR also, extended EDR also. In addition to the EDR available with the endpoint, we have the same EDR facility in email also. So if customer has our email security solution along with our endpoint product, we can provide them the XDR, extended EDR. If any incident happen in the mail, the same signature will be shared to the endpoints also, all the endpoints also, and it will happen vice versa. If any incident happen in endpoint, it will be shared to the uh, mailboxes, and it will be used for the forensic root cause and prevent the future issues. So this kind of thing also there, and the incident cleanup and response, the restoration feature, everything is there for the response stage. So this is how we are systematically protecting the endpoints through the detection techniques. So this is the core solution values. It should use the cross-generational blend of threat detection techniques, which we explained before, and it should be optimized efficient performance across endpoints, enterprise and cloud-based. So our same endpoint solution will be available in cloud and on-prem. You don't see any feature difference. Whatever we are available in, whatever feature we are given to the cloud, the same feature will be available to the on-prem users also. There won't be any parity feature difference with the cloud and on-prem. And we provide the connected threat defense also, which we discussed earlier. So all the real-time sharing of threat intelligence and centralized visibility and control will be there, and all the Trend Micro products will be connected each other. And this is how the systematic way of protecting the threats working. And at the entry stage, we are using web and file reputation, and in the after that we are using pre-execution machine learning and post-execution machine learning also there for the signature-less attacks, and then behavior analysis for the anti-ransomware, and this is how we are using. Like the static analysis will be done at the top layer, and dynamic analysis and runtime machine learning and the behavior analysis, which are which are done during the runtime. And at last stage, we will use the custom sandbox analysis to cross check the verdict with our sandbox. So this is how we are classifying the known good data, known bad data, and unknown data, and false positive, noise cancellation kind of things. And at last, we have the investigation and response stage, which will leverage our EDR functionalities. So this is how we are providing the multiple layer of protection. So we are not relying on single detection techniques to prevent all kinds of attacks, and we are using this many techniques at a different attack life cycle. So during the entry stage, we have virtual patching. Virtual patching is one of the main feature in Trend Micro. How it will work, for example, if you check the recent a ransomware attack, Petaya or WannaCry or any other recent ransomware attack, it was using the port SMB port 445, and using that vulnerability, it was propagated to every machine and it leads to the ransomware. So whatever virtual patching, how it will work, we will get the signature. We have zero day initiative team, which is the top contributor for the zero day attacks happening over the world. And in 2018 and 19, we are the contributor for 67% of zero day attacks happening over the globe. So we have the bug bounty program also and internal threat research team also. So they are contributing more number of patents to the zero day attacks. And how it will work, they will get this vulnerability details and they will disclose it to the third party vendors like Microsoft, Acrobat Reader, or any other vendors, and Google, and some other team, and if they found some vulnerability in their applications. So what vendor team will say, like based on the criticality of the attack, they will take time from 1 week to 3 months based on the severity of the threats for releasing the patch. So in between that time, the customer will be leave vulnerable. They don't have any signature to protect such kind of vulnerabilities. So since we are the major contributor of zero day vulnerability, we have the patent for everything. Our zero day team has a patent for zero day initiative team, ZDA. You may Google that team in the team. You will come to know the major contribution of the team for the zero day attacks. So it will release the patch immediately for the critical things, and that patch won't be installed with your applications or in your server or in your endpoint directly. It will be installed with the virtual layer only, with the endpoint security product only. By this way, we are closing the vulnerability exist in your applications. So even if a hacker or someone try to make use of the vulnerability, try to create some exploit or something, it will be blocked using the virtual patching thing. So this is how it will work. This is one of the main feature in Trend Micro, and the Trend Micro Deep Security product. It will do the vulnerability assessment also themselves only. The administrator no need to configure anything. It will do the vulnerability assessment automatically, and it will provide the patch for the vulnerability. So it will reduce the manual interventions and it will reduce the manual error. The administrator no need to take care of the patch management or anything, like any software, additional software burden or anything. So they can manage it very easily with the deep security. And in addition to that, we have device control web reputation, which will be used at the entry point of the attack. And during the pre-execution stage, we have two type of machine learning. Pre-execution static analysis will be used based on the signature, and runtime analysis for the unknown attacks, signature-less attacks. So we have application control also, variant protection also, file-based signature also. These kind of things happen during the pre-execution, the static analysis kind of attack prevention method. And dynamic analysis will be used during the runtime. And during the exfiltration also, we have a certain set of technologies like suspicious connection blocking, the CNC blocking and everything, which will be done with our antibot solution. And lateral movement will be stopped, and the web reputation is there, and host IPS is there, and DLP is there. So this will be used during the exfiltration stage of the attack. So in each stage, we have certain set of detection technology which will block the attack.